just...
Hey guys, and welcome.
Wait, do you do that at the start of every video?
What?
That.
No. Today, let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel if you've been here before, if not. So today we're going to be talking about friendship, and by we, I mean me and my friend who you don't know.
My name is Muskan. We've talked about friendship a lot, so this makes sense.
So basically what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be talking about different ideas and aspects of friendship via a bunch of questions.
No, sorry. I just saw your eyes.
First question.
I think the most fundamental thing about being a good friend is just like defined by the way you take care of people.
What do you want to laugh?
I think that's the main thing. Like, I have more thoughts and like more ways specifically how it means to be a good friend. But the main thing is just how you care for the other person, either through your actions or through your words or your company.
But the only things I put down was literally 3 words: communication, support, and loyalty. Because I feel like those are the 3 things.
Yeah.
Why can I not look at you? I feel like those are the 3 things that everybody looks for.
How are we gonna do this video if you can't look at me?
I feel like we're never this close. And I'm like
true.
looking at you in your eye, I'm like, golly, this is not normal. I'm too much of a silly goose. We have to switch it up, but I will not be changing the intro. You said that communication, support, loyalty, they're the general ideas that...
They're like the pillars of friendship.
Yeah, the main
because
themes.
I was gonna say, like, I have those words all over. You know, listening to your friend, like, I think that's so important. Most of the time, like, that's how friendship starts out, just by, like, you both complaining, or you both going through a similar situation, or one person going through something and just kind of starting to blab, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm included in this now, like, that's what this is. But also, like, providing comfort, and then, like, sharing a laugh. I think that's one of the most... But I think that's really important in a friendship, at least for me. If you're not able to laugh in a friendship, like, it's really hard for me to make sense of that, because
to make connection with someone.
Yeah, but just like even from like the outside looking into someone else's friendship, if I like don't see that as a component, I understand like people are people and they have their own things, but I just like fundamentally that's something that just doesn't make sense to me. Or if your friend knows that you're kind of down and like says something to like make you laugh, just turns everything around.
Being able to understand another person's humor is like an example of like the closeness and level of intimacy in your friendship. Because I feel like humors among different people, like among different friends, may differ, but the humor exists because it's like inside jokes, understanding each other, being on the same wavelength, and the ability to like enjoy things and be happy and expressive. So I do agree with that. Just to talk about what communication is, because obviously it looks different for everyone, but it's still an asset in friendship or any type of relationship with somebody. And as you're talking about, like, in terms of support, like emotional support, genuine like support, success, it's just being there for somebody or letting people know that you're there for them. And loyalty is just standing by somebody, not necessarily in the blind loyalty aspect, but like knowing that that person is there for you.
They have your back. I wrote down loyalty somewhere. The first thing that I was thinking of when friends have been disloyal to me, and how that's mostly come through is like we'll be in like a big group setting and they'll either make a joke about me or make some sort of comment about me that's like, that's like a shared thing just between the two of us, and you kind of bring it into like the larger public, and it's like you kind of just have to know at certain points like what to share and what not to share. And I feel like in good friendships you can talk about those things and work it out even if that did happen. There's specific friendships where you kind of just know that person is doing it to like get a laugh or like to put you down or whatever. And I've like had those friendships before, and for me like those are the things that come up with like disloyalty.
On top of what we spoke about in the like universal friendship, obviously I value those things and want them. I only put 2 notes down here, like 2 main values. Honesty, being able to be honest with someone is the best way to build trust. The other thing I put was flexibility. I feel like these 2 are like the basis for the other things that I value, and instead of listing like to be a good friend you need this, and this.
It just goes along with everything else.
Because I think trust is important in a friendship and necessary, but you can't have trust without honesty if you're not able to be open and talk with someone on top of like the communication I spoke about and the support and loyalty. And then flexibility, the way a friendship looks and manifests is going to change as people themselves are going to grow and develop.
Yeah.
So being able to allow room for that change to happen is going to be super important in order to maintain any type of relationship if you want it to last. So just being able to be open to seeing how friendship changes. When you start hanging out with someone, you have an idea of what that friendship is, and everyone wants to lock onto it because you're like, this is my friend. Being able to describe it a certain way, but things change, and you should allow your friendship itself to change, or how it looks to change.
That's so funny you say that, because I didn't realize it, but that is important to me as well. Especially like my relationship with like my best friend. We were in a trifecta with like this really mean girl, and that's kind of how we knew each other. And so we really only started off being like kind of rude and saying those kinds of things just to kind of like always incite a reaction or whatever. And then we kind of branched off on our own and like repositioned ourselves in the friendship as needed, without ever having to talk about it. And we made that like flexibility in our friendship without ever having it be this big thing. It just happened because we both realized we didn't want to be that kind of friend in general, and also to each other. And the fact that that kind of flexibility came about with no big discussion, big showdown or anything like that, it just happened because we both allowed it to happen for each other. It's like so special, and something we talk about like all the time. For me, I talked about a feeling of like home, but like to expand on that, just like the concept of like not having to explain yourself at every turn, or even if you do have to explain yourself, there's no judgment there. Either they kind of just get it, or if they don't, they will give you the room to kind of explain, or you know, whatever else. I think with some friendships, it can be so taxing sometimes because you're kind of just there. You constantly have to explain every action and everything that you do. And it's just like sometimes you just wish someone would just get it. And I will say, like, that feeling of like just someone being on the same page as you,
like
obviously.
Compatibility.
Yeah, it takes time. Also, like, you can build that up. It doesn't have to be something that's like intrinsic, but like it's so important that you have that after a while, because if you have some long-term friendship and you still kind of always have to explain to them, oh, I didn't do this thing because of like this and blah blah, and they don't just sometimes just get it without any explanation or whatever else, it's just so hard. I also spoke about how like I think I'm really good at lying to myself. So it's like it's important for me to like have friends around who kind of will identify that and call me out, but like, you know, do it in a way that works for me, but also just like are able to say that and not just be the yes friend all the time. Sometimes you need your friend to be a yes friend and nothing else, you know, but then sometimes you need to like wake them up to reality or whatever.
Being able to hold each other accountable in the things that you do or don't do is super important. I feel like it ties into like the honesty, letting people know the things you enjoy in a friendship, the things you don't, and what your values are, and being able to compare that and align them and keep them on track to what they believe in or what they want to do or how they want to be perceived.
I also like talked about how like I am someone who doesn't necessarily always like to talk about like every emotion or every feeling, and so when we do have to talk about those things, I value when it's easy. When I say easy, I mean everything you say won't be like misinterpreted. People will give you a chance to explain yourself, and it's just easy and clear and non-confrontational. It's just hard to know what you're feeling sometimes, and if you're, you know, having those big feelings or conversations with another friend and they're always trying to catch you in a lie or in like a little like whatever else, that just doesn't work for me. And I just value when like communication is straightforward and clear.
You want someone who can be open-minded, and in a sense they don't necessarily always have to like
trust you, you know,
empathize or agree with everything you're saying, but they should give you the space to speak and explain yourself. Coming back into like the holding you accountable, being honest, being able to allow yourself to grow and change and that kind of thing.
Because when we initially filmed this, is there a problem?
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Because we recorded a super long video talking about all the topics all at once, there's only one outro. So this is just me in the editing process saying that the vid is done. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.